turn on our recorder. So you should see the little red dot. So everyone who's watching this, and this is for people who aren't live with us right now and you're watching the recording, you have not missed anything yet. We're just getting started. Welcome aboard. Like I said, I think the official number is there's 82 of you in the course. First of all, I want to thank you all for even giving us the opportunity to take this journey. And I can promise you, and I didn't want to say anything before, but now that you guys are all here, this will be the best damn investment that you guys have made. I can say that with 1,000% confidence. If you just show up and go through the steps and just take this seriously and make this a priority, you will get freaking results, period. So let's get this party started here. All right, so things you should have done by now. Number one is make sure you're receiving our emails. If you signed up with a Gmail account, there's a good chance that our emails could have went to your promotions tab. And so when you're in your inbox, you'll see three titles up top. One will say your inbox, one will say social, one will say promotions. If that happened to you, you'll see an email from Billie Jean is Marketing or Ask Billie Jean and simply just drag it over to the other tab. Besides that, it looks like most of you have gotten our emails, so you should be good to go there. Next, make sure you're in our Facebook group. Make sure you're in our Facebook group. So it's a private group. It's literally just open for students and my staff. And so my students inside, my staff inside will be answering questions throughout the course. So especially when we start getting into like the techie part of Facebook and some of the more advanced training, you will be able to ask questions to the people who are doing it every single day. So if you go on the Facebook group, and a lot of you have already seen it, you'll see a picture of the girls and everything that they'll be answering. They're awesome. We're really responsive. And again, we're here for you guys through this 6 weeks. Patrick Forbes, you say still pending for your Facebook group. I went ahead and I accepted everyone, so you should be good to go now. Preston says, I'm getting your webinar invites and got the receipt, but nothing else. So Preston, we'll make sure that we reach out to you. And Rena, if you can note that right now, she's sitting here with me, paying attention to you guys. And what we'll do, Preston, is we'll follow up with you to make sure that you're good to go. All right, so those are the first two things. Email, make sure you're getting them, and Facebook group. The Facebook group will be our primary form of communication. I'll say it again. The Facebook group will be a primary form of communication, and also my team will be calling you. So again, I'm about results, and so if I see that you're inactive or you're missing, don't be surprised if you get a call from someone on my team just calling to give you that little kick in the butt. All right? So, and Preston, you're welcome. Next, so how the course works. And so we didn't go into a ton of detail about this before, so I'm going to bring clarity to all of you right now. So again, we know it's a 6-week course, and it's mostly consisted of video tutorials where I step-by-step take you how to do everything that I'm explaining. And so on Sunday night at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, you guys will receive emails and passwords to get access to the members only part of the course. That has all the video tutorials, that has all of our resources, our activities, and all the fun stuff that's going to take you and teach you the skill set. In addition to, what was that? Yeah, so this is, Brina brings up a good point. When we're releasing the course, it will be released 1 week at a time. And that's very intentional. And I know a lot of you, and looking at your surveys, kind of have more advanced backgrounds. But I promise you, whether you're a newbie or you're kind of familiar with this, you have to go through each step, especially at the end of this, because I'm looking for referral partners and looking for people to be able to send business to. I have to know that you're capable of executing on a professional level. So my job is to get you up to speed as if you were on my team working with us and have that level of trust built. So the course will be released kind of 1 week at a time, and we'll get you guys all squared away. So in addition to the video tutorials, the next part of the course are action steps. What are action steps? Meaning this isn't some bullshit course where I'm just going to throw a bunch of information at you and say, good luck, I hope that helped. Every week you are building a piece of your agency, right? So the first week when we unleash our Facebook training, you will actually be creating ads that you'll potentially be using later to get more clients, right? So every single thing that we do builds on the next week. So by the time you come to the 6th week, you text me and you're like, Billie Jean, like, I feel like a rock star, a superstar. I just want to go out and crush it. And a lot of you will already start getting clients even before that. Does that all make sense so far? Just put in the chat if you guys have any questions or anything. Is that all good? I'm seeing some yeses. Cool. Good with us. Yes, sir. Exactly. Michael, yes, sir. Okay, fantastic. Same page. Then the other component. Lessons will be released on Sunday. Bill Shore says lessons will be released on Sunday. Yes, that's correct. So you'll have access to lessons on this Sunday. And then the next live training will be Thursday. Again, the next live training will be Thursday with GoToWebinar, and you will send out the registration links to that on Sunday also. And that's how the weeks will function. Now, the live trainings, and this is really important, so please pay attention. The live trainings are completely dependent on the videos and the action steps you take before. For example, on Sunday when I release the Facebook training, everything I talk about on Thursday is going to be about that. So if you don't get the work done between Sunday and Thursday, you're not using your investment. You want to get up to speed so that way you can ask me questions live. And also too, I'll have people create mock advertisements and I will rip them apart on camera. So I'll share my screen, I'll show you ads people have created and I'll critique them. Hey, I would have done this better. Hey, I don't know about this. So I want everyone to feel really comfortable. This is a safe place. Like, I'm not here to make anyone feel bad. We're all here to kind of, talk a little smack on each other and make everyone better, right? We want everyone to have results. And so that's how the live function will go. In addition to that, we'll always have live Q&A. As you guys can see right now, this is not me talking at you. Like Herschel just said, hopefully the lessons will be released early on Sunday. They'll be released at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I hear you guys. I'm here again. This is not just, hey, good luck, you're in there. This is real. So we're good to go. And then lastly, the support group in Facebook, use it. When you're going through the training Sunday to Thursday and you have questions, my staff is available to answer questions. So if you guys have something that's not explained, and most of it will be, don't be afraid to ask. We are here to make sure that you get results. Our live session is always on Thursdays at 4 p.m. No, they're not. So when we did the survey, and most of you know this if you've done it or talked with someone on my team, the times will change based on your guys' schedule. So I'm going to do my best to find the fair medium, but at the same time, it won't work for everyone. But again, they're all recorded, and through the week, you can ask questions through the Facebook support group. So if you miss something or you feel like you want to ask a question, but you're not going to be there for the live training, ask it before, and I can still pull for that and hopefully get to your question. And also from my teaching experience, a lot of you will have the same questions. So there's a good chance, and there's a lot of smart people in this room, that someone's going to ask your question and it will be addressed through the recording. Okay, so any questions about how the course is going to function? Right now, I'm about to kind of run you guys through what happens after 6 weeks, fear of abandonment. We'll have an option for you because at that point you'll be partners, so this turns into something completely different. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that yet. Let's focus on getting really good at this, and then we'll go there. So any other questions about kind of overview or generally speaking? I'll probably answer them in the next couple of slides, but anything else? Bill says, why not release on Friday instead of Sunday? One simple reason is we're making edits. So it's a lot of production. Like I have to film and write every single script. It's very detailed. It's with screen captures. I have my film crew editing, and it's just a ton of information. And so I don't want to rush it. There's some things I want to change before I unleash it. So I want to make sure I'm giving you guys not just quality, but also Facebook approved strategies, policies, and make sure I'm syncing with my reps there and make sure I'm giving you the most up-to-date training period. Cool. Any other questions? Jason Smith, why were we waiting to hang out all this time? No, we're in GoToWebinar. We were going to use a Hangout and then we switched it. So sorry for the confusion there. All right, so moving forward here, unless anyone has anything drastic to ask, the live training. So something that you'll see me do here quite a bit is inside of the live training, I will poll you guys. So when I have you here as a group, you will see me ask a lot of questions and then we will vote. And so I can kind of show you, most of you guys have used GoToWebinar before, so you're pretty familiar with how a poll looks, but I'll show you here. So this is a poll that I created for my team when we were practicing, and we're all in a weight loss challenge right now. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how this functions, how this functions right now. And so that's what I asked them. I said, who's going to win the weight loss challenge? We're all in it together. So those are solutions. So I can see you guys voting and everything. Jason, can you repeat the last 15 minutes in a real quick summary in case you guys are coming in late? Yes, I can. And here it is. The course consists of 3 components: live training, access to our members only area, which is like a platform, a learning platform that I'll show you right now. And you have a bunch of support through the Facebook group. So Jason, make sure you're part of the Facebook group because that's where you can ask questions and my team will be answering questions. So that's a poll. We'll be doing those if you guys saw it. And that's where I'll be surveying people, figuring out times to make sure we're doing the live sessions at a time that accommodates everyone. Any other questions before I continue? Because we're about to start getting into the learning stuff once we get through this. Jason, waiting for approval for the Facebook group. I'll have someone do that for you right now. Rena, if you can just pop in there and make sure that we approve everyone in the Facebook group. Awesome. And then Jason, the other thing you missed is that I'm going to be really involved with this course. So I'll be a real person. You can ask me questions. I'm here to help you guys. Now the course, how it's presented. I use a platform called Moodle. Moodle is very similar to what University of Phoenix uses, or Ashford University, one of the big online schools. And it's because it gives me a bunch of cool features. And so when you come in, you guys are going to log in here, and this is what you're going to see, except the design is going to look a little bit different. So you'll be able to log in, put in your username and password, which will be emailed to you on Sunday. Again, most of our updates will come through the Facebook group, but the access to the actual course will be emailed to you. So make sure our emails are coming through. And again, we're tracking everyone. I have course managers tracking all of your movements, making sure you're up to speed. So if you don't, you will get a phone call from us. All right. Next, this is kind of a brief screenshot of how the course is laid out. And you can see section 1, a welcome video. This is what we do. This is what you'll learn. Section 2, this is how Facebook works. Facebook Advanced, the targeting options, how to create images. I bring you step by step. Now, on the right-hand side, and it's kind of hard to see in the screenshot, you'll see check boxes. When you complete an activity, I can't have Zoom because I didn't create it in there, Alfred, but I'll kind of give you the overview. When you complete a section in the course, you will automatically get a check mark. That's for 2 reasons. Is one, so you always know where you left off, because some people will kind of, do a little here, come back to it, pause a little bit, come back to it. Some of you will jam through it. But nonetheless, I will be able to see and my team will be able to see where you're at. So if you ever send in questions, we can log in and say, hey, Preston's already seen, these sections, these sections, these sections. He's already taken this quiz, this quiz, this quiz, and we'll be able to kind of deliver that way. And so we can see on our side progress bars, right? We can see participation reports. So I can see exactly what all of you do. And so Cami says, top notch, very impressive. Yes, this is real, I come from a university background. So when I say we went all out on this course, this is our shit. This is what we do. Nail says, are you teaching how to do Facebook ads and then how to sell it? 100% yes. That's what the whole course is about. Love it. So the look and feel of it. Videos, again, my style, the videos will not be boring. The videos will not be boring. The videos will not be boring. Why does that matter? Because I don't want to bore you. Because if you don't learn if you're not entertained and having fun, you're not going to learn shit. That's the reality. And so I charge too little for this course. Questionable, maybe. but either way, again, I wanted to make it affordable, right? So videos, production, full through. It's me teaching you. I'll share my screen. I kind of go through the whole rundown. So that's what the videos look like. Infographics. I got a team of guys who do nothing but just create infographics to make us look way cooler than what we are. So I give you resources on everything: how to price, how to bid, how to advertise the desktop, how to advertise the right column, all that jazz, and anything you could ever need, I'm going to give it to you guys. At what point will you get into how we get new customers? We can always sell them today and tell them our docket opens in 3 weeks. That's true. You can do a pre-sales. Paul, that's what the whole course is about. But we really focus in that in week 3. Why in week 3? Because it's important in week 1 and week 2 that you guys know what the hell you're doing. And here's the thing. What you learn in week 1 and week 2 about Facebook is going to shape how you sell it. So unless you understand the service you're providing, you cannot possibly go ahead and start selling the service right now. And then number 3 here, quizzes. So a big part of learning is retaining, right? So they're not complicated quizzes. They're just to make sure that you're comprehending the main points. And so you go in, you select an answer, and then again, me as a whole, or me as the moderator, I can see what questions people are getting wrong and what questions people are getting right. Why is that important? So when we do our live training, I can spend more time on those sections, right? This class is catered to you guys, for you guys. And the next is assignments. And so I actually give to-dos, right? So if I just taught a lesson about how to get a client using a case study, I'll have you submit your case study video or your landing page of that ad so that I can see them. And then before my live training, I will pick a couple examples and I will go over them live. You see what I'm saying? And so again, this is an action step. It's not just learn and I wish you the best. It's no, submit it and do it so that way it's done. Okay, so last here. All right, so now we're going to get into kind of the nitty gritty of what you're going to learn. So before and part of today, besides just introducing myself, getting you guys familiar with the format and getting excited, you really have to understand the course you signed up for and what it is you'll be able to do because of this. And so these next few slides, pay attention because this essentially is what the course is all about. All right, so it's our 7-step process. Now the picture that Gina chose right here is so corny. I have no idea why she did that, but it was funny and we laughed. So our 7-step process that we use to turn clicks into customers using Facebook paid advertisements, that's what you're learning. But in summary, when people ask you what you do, you tell them, I help businesses find customers using Facebook ads. I help businesses find customers using Facebook ads. Now, as you choose your niche, then it becomes more specific. I help customers in the health and wellness space find customers using Facebook ads. But essentially what you now do is you help people find customers, period. And through doing this, I'm going to show you how to create repeatable processes that are easily automated. What does that mean? Basically a system that you can turn on and off at any time that's going to bring customers for a business. It's the most powerful tool. It's what allows you to charge high prices. It's what allows you to charge recurring revenue. Any questions about this before I get down to this nitty-gritty good stuff? Anybody? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Anything? Going once? Going twice? Okay, let's continue on. So, and let's move. Step 1, and really fast before I actually jump into this, the next 7 steps that I'm going to go through, I will go into more detail through the course. This is all seeded through the course. What I'm giving you right now is an overview. So don't feel overwhelmed or like I'm moving too fast. I just want to have you guys have a very crystal clear understanding of exactly what it is you'll be doing and what you'll be learning. Really fast. Can someone just type something in the chat really fast? It cut out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Hello. Okay, perfect. All right, let's rock and roll. So step 1, and the steps I'm showing you right now are the steps that I personally use in my business every day to grow it. And this is the process that every single customer that comes in our internet doors goes through. And that's intake and evaluation. Intake and evaluation. You cannot help your client until you clearly understand their objectives. You cannot help your client until you clearly understand their objectives. Even if you think you have a skill set, it's not about you, it's about what they need. And so once you understand a customer's objectives, then you can choose a call to action. And what does that mean? When we're building these campaigns, sometimes you'll just be collecting an email address for a company. And some companies want that because they just want a bigger list so they can sell more to people and they want more distribution. Sometimes people will want a name, email, and phone number so that they can call them and sign up. Sometimes people will want a one-on-one consultation and people to sign up. You can only recommend one of those if you understand what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And when you do these things, you want to get a very clear definition of what they define as success. In other words, Mr. Client, what would I have to have done for you to be really happy and recommend me to everybody else in your network? Well, Billy, I mean, if we can do $10,000 in sales, and only spend $3,000, I'd be really happy. Great. So that way, when it comes to that day and you do that, that's when you walk in with your chest kind of poked out and you say, hey, I'm delivering for you. And you can show them those numbers and they're happy and they send you more referrals. And sometimes you can even charge them more from there. So right here, you're looking at an example of an intake survey that we created for personal trainers. And so I think I was teaching a course to personal trainers at some point, or we were selling them something. I don't really remember what it was. But here's a sheet of an intake, and it basically says up top, it says annual revenue goal. How much money do you want to make during the year, right? And then what's the number one reason for wanting to make this extra money? You got to find out what's driving your customer. You have to. It's everything, right? And then from there, it's identify your average monthly revenue per client. And then some of them had a per session model where they charge you per session. Some charge per hour. Some just have a monthly fee. And then the next section helps us visualize how many clients they need to hit that goal, right? So on average, how many sessions does a client pay for a week? They say 2 to 3. How much do they charge? And from that, we can figure out how much a client actually brings them in a month, right? And so what's powerful about this, when you have this, and realize something, you can only do these kind of sheets when you're in a niche, right? Because every business is so different. So you have to pick a niche. And this is one of the reasons why here and why I was stressing that in the webinars. And it all says, are we going to get this? Yes. If I'm showing you something, you guys are going to get all of it, right? I'm not in here to not hook you up and give you, I want to make you the best that I can. So you'll get this. So don't worry about, what's going on. But anyways, this is the sheet that I show. This is what I bring a client through. It's different for every single industry, but nonetheless, this gives me a clear understanding of what they're trying to do. In addition to that, it gives us clear objectives of what we're trying to accomplish so that they see our value and that they pay us every month, because it's all about recurring revenue, right? So this is a big tactic and how to get that. Now, moving on. Step 2, identifying the target audience of your client. Identifying the target audience of your client. Now, when you talk to clients, and I'm sure some of you have already dealt with it, but you say, okay, like, who's your customer? And then you hear this. Well, everybody's technically my customer. Ugh, shut up. No, they're not. No, they're not. And so even Facebook, when they first started off, it was just for college students, right? And so what you have to do is you have to get a really clear idea of who you want to advertise to, especially to be successful on Facebook advertising. So a good way to do that is to ask the client, hey, in the last 1 to 2 years of doing business, what have your customers looked like? How much money do they make? Are they mostly males or females? And then as they talk out loud, they start to be like, damn, Billy, like I've actually only worked with women between the ages of 35 to 40. Oh, weird. That your lowest hanging fruit? And then the next thing you want to check on is that niche that they're in profitable? So then you evaluate their ideal customers, right? How much would you want to be making? How much would you want your people to be paying? And then how do we find those people? And then something you'll learn in the course is how to evaluate if this target audience is feasible for their business on Facebook. I got this question more than anything before you guys signed up, and it was, what are good niches on Facebook? There's almost everything can be worked, but everything's a little different. And as we go through the course, this question will be answered, but it's not just a short thing. But as we go through, you'll realize that. And then once you kind of evaluate who their ideal customer is, and this is a good fit for Facebook, then you make them isolate a service. Isolate a service, what does that mean? Well, too many times a client will say, all right, Billy, well, I have these 10 products. So I just want to get people to my website and then let them decide. The worst thing you can do is try and have a customer decide. If I took you guys all out to ice cream right now, we're in San Diego, we may be in the store for an hour, you guys deciding which flavor you freaking wanted. But if I just came back and I brought you a gallon of vanilla ice cream, it would probably be gone in like 2 seconds. Like, don't give the customer options. You let them know, because you're the expert and you need to take control. This is the service you need to be offering based on the amount of revenue that you want to make, the current customers that you're working with and you get along with, and how easy it is to target them on Facebook. Do you see what I'm saying? You told them what to do based on the information that they gave you, so it feels like their own idea. It feels like their own idea because it pretty much was. You just took the information and spit it back to them in a way that made sense and now made yourself look like the expert. Once you have all of these things, now you can advertise on Facebook. Now you can use this information, and that's what I'll show you in this week one, this Sunday, is how to take that info and put it into Facebook to find who it is that you're looking for. That's when it starts with the Facebook platform. Any questions so far? Is this information helpful? Is this making sense to you guys? Says you talk about walking into customers. Is this something we can do virtually? Herschel, yeah, let me clarify. 99% of my clients are all over the country in different, places, etc. So I mean, almost no one is in San Diego. I take that back. I have like 26 clients in San Diego, but they're together. But nonetheless, it's all virtual. So when I say walk in the door, I mean walk into the phone, and we'll get into those sales strategies later. But that's a good question. I should have clarified that. It says, excellent, very cool, making good sense. Billie Jean, this is amazing. Makes absolute sense. Good. Thank you, guys. That's what I want to hear, and that's how I want you to feel throughout this entire process. Okay, let's continue. Finding a niche. So again, going back into that, this is like a small exercise that we use to help clients identify, who they need to go after. It's who do you like working with, who pays the most, who is your most consistent client, thinking long-term lifetime value of the customer, what's their age, what's their gender, and this one's for personal trainers. So we said type of transformation. Why did we say that? Because some people want to get a six-pack. Some people want to bulk up like the Hulk. Some people just want to look good in their jeans again. Everyone's at different stages. And again, going back to the niche, it affects the way that your advertisements feel and look. What are their interests? What events do they attend? What TV shows do they watch? And how far away are they from you distance-wise? And how much money do they make? Now, why do I ask all of those questions? Because it's all information that you can input into Facebook. So once the client's telling you this, they're saving you time. So then you can just pull up Facebook's advertising platform and say, oh, okay, everybody in their niche goes to Coachella. So that's a good target audience that you can start advertising to, right? Based off of just this simple questionnaire. Everything I'm showing, what does this take? I don't know, 10 minutes for a client to fill out, So someone says drop the mic moment. Boom, bitch. So, all right, what groups and associations they're involved in. A lot of times there's big groups and et cetera on Facebook. So, and then marital status, on Facebook, you can advertise based on someone's marital status, et cetera. So, step 3 is creating an offer. This will take practice. This will take some skills. Don says, are you using a software to make this form? If so, what is it? So I have a couple resources that I use, and I use a service called Elance. Don't worry about it. I'll go into that when we get to that section, Don. But yes, I actually, for those forms that I just showed you, and I can actually type in them and the numbers will auto-populate, so the formulas are already in there. So I can do that with the client on share screen and they can see me punching in their goals, etc. I think I paid $12 a pop on Elance from some guy in, I think it was Bangladesh. $12. That's why I use Elance. 12 freaking bucks. Are you kidding me? So step 3, creating an offer. This is what I need to make you guys magic. And this is what I need to make you guys superstars at this next step. And an offer has a few components. So number 1 is obviously the advertisements that show up in the newsfeed, right? And I just pulled this example because you guys already see it, have seen it in the webinar. But basically an offer consists of a couple of things. Is 1, the image, 2, what you're offering, and then 3, the copy behind it. So in each section of this advertisement, and I'm going to see if I can use my little highlighter here and tell me if this highlights for you guys. So your post text up here, all this jazz up here, for every single client we work with, it's the same exact style that we do. There's a formula to it. This down here, it's called the description text. There's very specific things that we do here. So each component to this ad, I'll give you templates for, and I'll let you know what's the best strategies to do for each. I know writing is a tough spot for a lot of people, and so I'm going to try and provide you guys with as many examples as possible for that. And then next we have the image. Image matters on Facebook in a major way. And so you're looking at one of like probably 40 images that we use for Facebook. The one myth I will debunk for some of you guys right now is everyone believes being successful on Facebook is about something called split testing. Now, if you guys are new and you're not familiar with split testing, it would mean that I would run an advertisement to something like this, and version A would use this image, version B would use the next image, and then you would see which one got more people to click. Granted, it's an effective way to get a lower cost per lead, but honestly, the real magic in all this isn't about changing the image or a couple word tweaks here and there. It's about changing the offer. When you see drastic results is when you go, like in this example, it says we're giving away 50 one-day trials. When we go from 1-day trial to giving away a 2-week trial, that's when we see cost per lead go from $10 to $2. Right? It's all about the freaking offer. Brookfield, someone says, I live close to this location. Yeah, that's one of our clients. But going through this process again, it's the offer that matters. It's the offer that matters. Now, going to the next stage here, and let me put away this highlighter. Okay. So is the landing pages, right? So creating a landing page that they go to. Every single landing page that we use in our business, and for me myself, is a freaking template. Big spoiler alert. All of this hype that I see people get into about, oh, I need a designer, and I spent $1,000 on getting this. Dude, I spend $37 a month for all the templates that we need and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales because of that damn $37 investment. So I'm letting you know right now from the team who's doing it every single day, it is crap. You do not need any kind of designer jazz. And so I'll show you the software that we use. I'll hook you guys up with it. Because there's a group of us, we're going to get a deal on the software too. So don't worry about it. We'll get there. But what I'm also going to teach you, and what's important to understand on these landing pages and what we'll practice, is what the call to action is. So here you see the arrows pointing down. It says request free trial. And then there it is. I can zoom a little bit. It says request free trial. And then from there, we ask for their name, email, and phone number. But understanding when to either ask for name, email, phone number, or ask them to like schedule a one-on-one appointment, or just ask them to purchase is completely dependent on a case-by-case situation. And so that's what I'll help you guys identify. Someone says, do you ever use video instead of a still image? This is a video on this example I'm showing you, Josh. Or if you're asking me in the Facebook ad here, do I use videos? Yeah, we do. Videos are a little funny with Facebook right now. They changed the pricing quite a bit. But the answer is yes. And someone says the highlighter is still on. Hold on one second. Okay, gone. Yes? Perfect. So Josh, yeah, we do. We use video ads and we use images. Right now, what seems to be working the best for us as an agency is using images within the newsfeed. But our reps say that videos are supposed to be a huge part of it. So things will change. And again, the more we talk to Facebook, the more we learn. I will share it with you guys. So I'll keep you in the loop. The next step in maximizing or creating an offer is maximizing the potential of a thank you page. Nothing makes my stomach hurt more than when someone gives their name, email, and phone number, and the next page says, thank you, you'll hear from us soon. The thank you page is the most paid attention to page in the process because people just asked you for something and now they want to know how the hell they get it. So this is where you have their attention. And so you have a couple options here. Is one, give them incentive to take action immediately. Two, get them to be more bought in. So with Orange Theory, and this is something I didn't show before, for the gym, people will put in their name, email, and phone number for a 2-day trial. But once they submit their information, the next step we have them do is go to this calendar here and actually choose a time that they're coming in. Now, on average, about 30% of the people who give their name, email, and phone number also book a time. And so again, it's just getting the user to be more committed, and these people are more likely to show up and eventually close. Does that make sense so far? Talking about the thank you page. I spent a whole section on thank you pages and the cool different things that we've done there. But to give you an idea, yes, everyone says yes. Okay, cool, makes sense. Yes, thank you page is huge. Billy, can you share the slides on this, please? Alfred, you're going to get a full recording, so you'll have everything. And then, yes, I can also send out the slides too if you guys want to go through it. But the thank you page is your gold mine. If any of you are doing any kind of advertising now, this is it. And also, something really popular that we do, and I don't have it in here, is I'll offer something for free, and then I'll just try and sell something behind it. And maybe 2% of the people will purchase that $200 product, but sometimes it's enough money to pay for your advertising in the beginning. So you're basically getting free advertising. And again, we'll go into that stuff. I'm getting carried away with the offer. Someone asked me, have you ever used a viral for the Facebook ads to stimulate referrals? A contest style. We don't do contests. I'm not a fan of contests, but what we do is we ask for referrals a lot. So on some of these other campaigns, when people will say, yes, I want to come in and work out for free, and we'll give them one day. And then when they come to the thank you page, we'll say, hey, do you want a second day to work out? Invite 2 friends. You see what I'm saying? Someone says the calendar on the thank you page gives them physical and mental engagement, hooks them on you a bit more. Yeah, that's exactly right, Cami. They're more bought in. And so again, I hope even with these strategies, for those of you who are kind of out there right now, you guys can implement these right away. So yeah, and the calendar is free that we use. Like there's so many, I'm gonna hook you guys up with so many damn services that are like free or like a couple bucks a month. Like I'm all about cheap shit that's effective and quality. Again, creating your offer. Okay, this is a cool exercise that I do, and it's such a simple worksheet. But it just got my logo, and this is for going back to that personal trainer example, and it says creating your offer. List 4 problems your training solves for your niche. List 4 problems your training solves for your niche. So when we were working with personal trainers, and they were saying, hey, Billy, I'm a personal trainer and I work really well with pregnant mothers, right? Well, I said, okay, well, how does your particular workout help them? And they're like, wow, well, I mean, my special diet plan is made for this. It's supposed to give the baby extra nutrition or whatever. Like, hey, the way I have them move, their mobility is very limited when they're pregnant. So it does this. And he gives me all this great shit and these good examples. And I was like, wow, congrats. We just wrote your first ad, right? Because you're speaking to the pain points that your audience is already facing. And then you're already providing them with a solution. And there's no better way to get leads than by stating the biggest problem that your audience is facing and just giving them a solution to it. That's it. That's it. Will we get these worksheets? Sorry, I just jumped on. Phil, yes, you will. You sure will. You'll get everything. Everything you guys see is very gettable unless I tell you otherwise. But assume that it's all yours and you guys can run with it and do the damn thing. Any questions before I move forward? Cool. Rocking, rolling, good. And bam. Now, step 4 in this process that you'll be learning as we go through this course is about follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. I will give you some statistics, very relevant ones, because again, I'm with the transparency. With this course right now that I'm offering, I want to say 70% of our sales came through follow-up emails, us doing live blabs, etc. I think on day 1, we had about 20 people enrolled, and we knew, we kind of prepped for it being ongoing. But again, it all came from following up, and there's 82 of you guys now. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you guys are taking shortcuts with clients, or in the future, if you're thinking about it and not implementing follow-up, you're doing yourself a huge injustice, because that's where all the money's at. And so I go over in very detail all about things like retargeting, stalking, and reinforcing. What does that mean? Those ads that follow you around the internet, and I'm sure you guys have all seen it when you visit anything. I show you how to do those. And I don't just show you technically how to do them. I show you when we use them and when we get the most bang for our buck. And so going with that Orange Theory example I was just showing you, that advertisement, you can see here, and again, if this doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it right now. But I can advertise specifically to people who clicked my ad but didn't give their name, email, and phone number, right? And so an ad like that would say like, hey, you wanted a 2-day workout at our gym, but you didn't take advantage of it. It's not too late. I would say something like that, right? Or I can advertise specifically to people who gave their name, email, and phone number. And I could say something like, hey, thank you so much for, downloading your 2-day trial for our gym, but you haven't made an appointment yet. Call us now. Call us now. And so again, each step of the process that you create requires a different sort of retargeting that I will go up with you guys. Paul goes, to set up the landing pages and retargeting, do we need access to their website to build out this stuff? So Paul, what I'm going to teach you, so I'll give you guys a great example about websites. For this course, you do not need a website. For this course, you do not need a website. You'll just use the landing page service that we use, and we do that for every single one of our clients. I have a rule of thumb that I personally believe in that I've been teaching for 3 or 4 years. When you're running a Facebook ad, never bring them to a website. When you're running a Facebook ad, never bring them to a website because there's too much shit going on. You have your About Us, the Call Now, your 20 products, banner ads, and everything else. Their attention span on Facebook coming from a website is ADD. It's going everywhere. So do yourself a favor, create a simple landing page, offer to solve a problem that they're facing. That is your best bet. And those are all things that we will continue to go. Someone says one decision marketing. That is damn right. Do we need to build a Facebook business page? Yes, you do, Lou, and we will go over how to do that in the course on Sunday once it's released. This was another example of a retargeting ad that we showed you when we were selling physical products. And it just says it's not too late to save $241. Shop now, blah, blah. Automated emails. I cannot tell you. A lot of people say, Billie Jean, do emails even work anymore? Do people check those? The answer is yes, and they work like crazy. And it allows you more than anything to recognize who your hottest leads are. So the screenshot that we took here was just a campaign that we were doing for, I don't know, some gym out in Columbus, Ohio. And it says we sent 171 emails and 55% of the people opened those emails. 55% of the people opened those emails. That's more than half. And more importantly than that, I can see who those people were. Why does that matter? Because when you're selling physical products, as opposed to just spamming everyone and saying, yo, buy my shit now, and actually paying attention to who's opened up all of your content emails, you can kind of start to pick when's the best time to send somebody something really salesy. If someone's opened up 4 of your last emails and they were reading them and they were clicking the links within them, then hey, it may be time to try and sell them something, right? And so again, I'll teach you how we kind of use data to make our decisions in our campaigns. Follow-up calls, huge. Even with you guys right now coming into the webinar, and most of you should have talked to my team, or I know you got a voicemail from them, and if you didn't, then I'm going to light some fire in the office. But even with you guys, once you're in, our job doesn't end just because you guys are enrolled now. Now my job is to make sure that you guys are engaged, and to make sure I deliver the best freaking class that you've ever been in. And so with me, a lot of internet marketers will say, okay, here's your course, wish you the best of luck. I'm like, no, I have freaking 2 community managers hired just to hang out with you guys and then make sure you're good. I have my staff who's running the agency in the group answering questions. And so again, follow-up is everything. And especially if you're going to be a partner at the end of this thing, then it's important that we have that relationship. So moving forward, step 5, and we're coming up to the end here, reporting and tracking. Reporting and tracking. Man, and I've said this in the webinar before, but I'm going to say it again. What's going to allow you to grow your business and to scale your business is your ability to communicate with your clients the value that you're delivering. The value that you're delivering. Your effectiveness when you build a campaign for a client is going to be reliant on you understanding your analytics. And so with us, to give you an example, this is a bad screenshot, but this is Wistia. So basically, every time someone watches any of my videos, I can see exactly how much an individual watched of that video. I can see if they timed out in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. I can see if they timed out after 4 minutes. I can see all of that stuff. What does that allow me to do? It allows me to say, hey man, you just watched one of my videos for 25 minutes. you're probably a good fit for one of my courses. You're probably damn sure interested. Again, using data in your favor. So I'll show you the software that we use there. It works like crazy. It's great. Facebook and our reporting. And again, this screenshot has a lot of information on it, but I can tell the client how much it costs them to get a lead in each niche. So on the right column here, you can see it says cost per, and what's referring to is cost per lead. So I can see that for females 25 to 35, it costs them on average $6.97. I can see that, females 35 to 44, it costs them on average $15.44. This is the data that you'll be able to deliver to your clients. And once you have an understanding of all of this, that's when you can create dope reports like this. And I glanced over this before, but I'll go into detail now with you guys. So strategically, this report, we call it the ROI report, has one function to say, hey, Mr. Client, look how much money I'm making you. Keep me forever. Hey, Mr. Client, look how much money I'm making you. Keep me forever. Because most of the time, if you don't show them this, they don't know. Even though you know, they don't know. And if your customer doesn't know, it doesn't freaking matter. So at the top, it tells them they received 775 BGM leads, Billy Genius Marketing leads. Out of those leads, they converted 141 members. How do we know that? Because we have access to their system. How do we have access to their system? Because we set expectations in the very beginning of, hey, for us to do what we do, we need to have access to your system. So you're not going to get a whole bunch of bite back, because when they understand that this is for their benefit, they appreciate it. And when I say, hey, Mr. Customer, I know you've hired a lot of social media agencies in the past, and you don't really know what's happening or get bang for your buck. So this is what I want to do for you. I want to create a really cool report like this. So this way you know exactly what's going on with our campaign. And they appreciate it. Oh, please, what do I need to do to get that? They'll offer up the access to everything that you need, right? So now you look like a superstar. Now, here's the thing. In order to do this, you got to be delivering results, right? So everything else I just went over in these first 4 steps, that's what you have to master. That's what I have to teach you how to do. And I want to set you guys up in some easy niches to get your juices going and your confidence up, and then we can get into more of the complicated ones. So anyways, back to this ROI report, they can see how much they invested with us. And again, another huge thing to recognize, when we're building these agency and it comes down to pricing, you're selling 2 things. You have the agency fee, which is what they're paying you and your expertise to create, right? So that's how much money you bring in as the company. But then you have the advertising budget. How much are they going to need to spend on Facebook? From their perspective, regardless of who it's going to, all they see is, shit, I'm spending this amount of money, right? So if your fee is $3,000 and their advertising budget is $3,000, they're going to see that as an investment of $6,000 a month. So realize the value that you bring needs to exceed that $6,000, not your $3,000. You need to be bringing in them $18,000, $20,000 a deal for you to be like, yeah, I'm in cruise control with them. This client's with me forever. Then you go to a freaking island, collect your check, and manage the campaign for a little bit, right? So I just kind of routed off a lot of information there. Can you guys just type in the box, does this make sense? Is this helpful? Am I spending too long? Like, be interactive with me. Talk shit to me. If something, is not making sense, let me know. Yes, makes sense. It's great. Cool. Hashtag like a boss. Good shit, big man. Cool. Nope, this is good. Good stuff. Makes sense. Basic. Blah, blah, blah. Important. Awesome. Which island? Whatever one you want, man. Very good. Necessary. Someone mentioned too, like, yeah, Preston, like kind of basic. Yeah, it would seem like this is basic, but it's amazing how many people that I have in this industry, friends with way bigger agencies than mine, and they don't do things like this, which is why I promise you, if you put me up against anybody, I will probably take anyone's client that I want at will, just because of this process that I'm showing you, right? Why? Because it shows to the customer that we're all about profit. All about profit. That's the only thing you guys should be talking about with your customers. Hey, by hiring me, I'm going to treat you with respect and I'm going to make you money. Oh, okay, Billy, where do I sign? That's it. That's all. That's the only conversation needs to go. Okay, so Yeah, Nail says, I don't do it. I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Hell yeah, man, you are. You are. And you're saving yourself a lot of arguments. What's it called? Will you be talking about getting access to client sales figures? Yes, Cameron, I will. Is there a software you use to produce this ROI report? No, we created this internally. We created this internally for a client. And so I will go into once we come across this, because this is for later weeks. This is like week 5 of the training. So we'll get into all that. So don't worry about it too much right now. First, you need to figure out how to get results like this, right? And that you will know. It says, if you are prospecting, do you show a sample of this report? Andy, that's a great question. And hell yes, I do. This report that I'm showing you, and realize I've taken the client's name out of it, I have, no exaggeration, 23 of these. So this is how I set it up, and you'll like this, is I'll send them a report and say, hey, this is the results we get. And they say, oh yeah, Billie Jean, those numbers look really great. Like, but do you still think it worked for us? And I was like, oh, hold on a second. Let me forward you something. I send them another 19 reports just like it. Like, what do I need to say? Who's going to sell against me? No one. Think about it. Who the fuck is going to come in and try and argue with us about business when they're talking and blowing smoke about the dream that they can create? And I'm just like, look, I've done this 20 times. I don't know what to tell you, but I got to go. Give me a call later if you're interested. Who would you want to work with, right? Even with you guys, this webinar, what did I show you guys in the webinar? I just showed you proof. I've showed you what I've done. It's numbers. You guys are here because you want to make more money than you spent. And if you do the shit, you will. It says, do you share these case examples with us to use? To an extent, right? You know, I can't just say, go out there and use it and put my name on it, especially when I don't know you guys that well yet. But we'll figure out something, some kind of happy medium. And again, more importantly than that, I'll help you guys build your own case studies quickly. I'll make you guys build your own case studies quickly. So moving on to kind of the next section here. So step 6 out of the 7, turning your new skill into a business. So what's going to happen through this course in about week 4, you guys are going to get confident, right? You're going to be like, damn, Billy, I like this. You're going to see a little bit of results by then, and things are going to get going. Now, how to take this like case study that we create in these kind of small examples and growing a business behind it is what I'm best at. And it has a lot to do with videos and documenting case studies, but I'm going to show you guys that process. I'm going to share the scripts with you of how I'm closing clients, and then I'm going to tell you my scripts and strategies to get them to agree to recurring revenue. And to give you guys like a teaser for what's coming up, it's all in the beginning. You don't start working with a client and then bring it up to them later. You set the expectation early, and that's how it gets done. And again, as long as the proof's there, they don't even think about it, right? So step 7, scaling your business. This is once you kind of go through the training, you're comfortable, you guys kind of graduate through this. I feel good about you, you feel good about where you're at. Then we will talk about other things. Someone said, you know, after the 6 weeks, like what the hell happens then? That's when we'll start talking about our partner program in depth, and we'll do a call for it, everything. Some of you guys will want to do things similar to what we're doing, where we sell information, teach courses, all of that stuff. There's a whole different level and strategy behind it. So, but just know this is kind of the end of the tunnel. This is what you're looking forward to, because once you master this other stuff and you kind of start dominating some niches, and once I share with you when we partner some of the niches we're working in, like the loan officer real estate market, and I say, hey, I have some great shit for you, that's when you make money. So just focus on learning the skill and getting good at it. Focus on learning the skill and getting good at it. And I promise you, I will show you the yellow brick road to make all the cash that you want. And it'll be pretty straightforward and simple, but just get really fucking good at creating Facebook ads and delivering results. And the rest is there. Let's see here. And then next steps. Okay, so you'll get access to the course again. To reiterate, access to the course this Sunday, 5 o'clock. That's when you guys will get your username and logins emailed to you. If you don't, for any reason at all, just email us at askbillyjean.com or post in the Facebook group. Either one will be responsive. My team's aware of the situation and where everyone's kind of getting access. And then from there, make sure you go through the entire lessons in the weeks, because that's all I'm going to be talking about during our live coaching call is what you just learned, right? And so that's a big deal. Now, what I'm going to do now is just kind of sit here and just do live Q&A with you guys, because that's the benefit of taking this course, is real person, real people here to help. Yes, let's get into questions. All right. So Jim Word says, I want to be really fucking good, and you will be. What is the word tracking you would suggest right now for me to offer free leads as a foot in the door to get started? I wouldn't offer you anything right now yet, Derek, because I want you to do the Facebook training first, because it's going to change. It's going to put off a lot of light bulbs. So I wouldn't give you anything right now. Don says, you said something about building persona. What's that about? That's just deciding who you are and the type of people you want to work with. And I go into that throughout the entire course. That's a recurring theme that I consistently bring up. But yeah, I mean, it's super important that you only select clients that are like-minded to you. Sometimes you can pick a niche just based on the type of people who are typically in it, right? Like I have some guy who just loves people in the restaurant industry. He's a foodie. That's what he does. And so he sticks in that lane, right? So it's about choosing that. Thomas says, what is a power editor? So if you go to create an ad on Facebook, Thomas, the place they bring you to, which is called the Ads Manager, is the very basic version of what's called the Power Editor. So the Power Editor is just Facebook's platform that allows us to create advertisements. And in this course this week, through the Facebook lesson, I go over all that. So you'll have the answers to that. Herschel says, I feel like you're actually going to be teaching me a skill, not just putting out a product to satisfy celebrate. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm biased, Herschel, but again, this is the best skill set in the world to have right now. And I'm happy to share it. And this is what I'm passionate about. And it works. All right, y'all are throwing a lot of questions. Hold on here. BMO says, what do you use for retargeting? FB retargeting or third party? Facebook's retargeting. We stay close with Facebook. We're always trying to be on their good side, and it's cheaper. I don't want to pay for a markup when Facebook's is more effective. So Facebook. Steve Lowe says, was something mentioned earlier about having a manual. Was I imagining this? Well, you have access to our course, which is pretty much, I mean, it's more than a manual. It's got videos, it's got infographics, it's got quizzes, it's got assignment. I mean, it literally just takes you along the way to getting to where we want to be. So I'd say a little bit better than a manual. Nehal, what week will you be talking about choosing niches? Week 3. Week 3 after I go through all the Facebook stuff and choosing your, once you have the fundamentals down, the skill set, that's what I'll be going into that. Will you show us a path to a $1 million agency? Lance, that is what this whole course is about. I'm showing you right now. That whole this last hour, that's what that was. Good question. Does this work for local professional services like divorce lawyers? Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah, it does. I mean, divorce lawyer is actually probably, if there was any niche of attorney that I'm going to go into right now, it'd probably be divorce, just because so many people are going through it. That's probably the best one to do. So yeah, Josh, and we'll, again, for me to help you guys and you say, okay, Billy, help me get into that niche, it really comes down to you understanding the skill set first. So when I say, okay, with divorce lawyers, we can create this campaign, do this and do this, you know how to do it and implement it, right? But good question. When in the course do you cover making indoctrination videos so we can prospect to new clients, just like you've done? That's like a week 4, week 5 type of deal. And that's when I go into more of the actual selling. Like, so it's like, okay, hey, now you have this skill set, you kind of know what to do, or you definitely know what to do. And now you can go out and get clients. And that's when I started showing you my videos that I've used, my sales presentations, because I'll record my, so again, someone asked earlier if I, have a lot of clients here in San Diego. No, I haven't met most of my clients. So I'll show you my presentation for that. I'll sit here with you guys and I'll walk you through how I close clients, right? And it looks really similar to what we're doing right now in a Prezi here. I just walk them through, but yeah, so we'll do that. Let's see here. Michael Taff. Will we be able to use our agency Facebook page for this, or will we create a new page just for this? You can use your agency one, Michael. If you already have one, that's fine. Am I thinking wrong right now?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, I think good. I can't think of any reason why not at this point. It depends what you're trying to do, Michael, but if you're trying to just kind of grow your agency and kind of implement the stuff, stick with the agency. If you're trying to kind of brand yourself and go out and do your thing, I would say change your name. But I think you'll be good. Steve Lowe, at what stage will you get into new client acquisition? Again, it's all covered between weeks 3 to 5 is what that's all about. And we'll go into there. Rob, do you get into multiple niches as long as you know the niche? Yeah, but more importantly than that, Rob, you don't get into multiple niches until you master one. And when I say master one is your process is so documented that you can virtually almost do it in your sleep or put together campaigns in like an hour. There's some industries, if you put us in, we can probably build a campaign in less than an hour and start bringing people leads in 3. That's the kind of mastery shit you need to be at before you think about other niches. Will be cold calling ever be in this course? No, but working the phones will. Working the phones for sure will. Like the phone is your best friend, but by the time someone's on the phone with you, the way I'm going to show you how to get leads, you're going to enjoy the phone because it's it's guaranteed money. I'll give you guys a fun stat. For in-person presentations I've ever given, I've closed 100% of the people that I've spoken with. When I'm true, yeah, true. When I'm on the computer and presenting, I want to say it's probably like, I don't know, 90 if I'm being real with you. And so sales is my background. That's like what I do before anything. So all this shit came as a result of me being able to sell and having a love for marketing and putting the two together. So let me scroll down. Cami, when it's time to pull the trigger on getting clients, your recommendation for finding prospects, mine FB, or building an outside mailing list. Cami, when I was really just trying to get out there and get clients, my number one source to get clients was through Facebook ads. So everything I'm teaching you how to do for niches, I'm also going to be showing you how to use that for yourself to get more customers. So, and it looks good because when you're selling people on your services and you're doing the same thing to get their attention, it's pretty powerful. It'd be like right now if I showed you guys how to build a course and sell it using webinars, you guys would be like, hell yeah, because I'm living it and I'm preaching it, right? Hint, hint, that is coming. That is coming. Do you use Google AdWords? No. I'm a Facebook guy, Ken. Stick to one thing, especially with all the changes and everything that Facebook's making. You don't have time to be good at all those things. I'll find a nice partner that I can get that with and let them take care of that. Do you ever have a prospect who took your sample report to a competitor who's your prospects doing their Facebook stuff? Yeah, I mean, you definitely may have competitors do it, but my report of the results that we're getting, I mean, they're usually so far behind at that point, like it doesn't matter. Like the one thing you won't really worry about is your freaking competitors for the most part. I mean, every now and then people will try and undercut us and we deal with some bullshit, but like it's such a small part of our business. There's so much opportunity right now. You don't even have like time to look back on stuff like that. And so that's why I'm glad you guys get in this course now because you're going to see, I mean, it's just a freaking world of opportunity out there right now. Clarence Fisher says, can you give some resources to reach out to get an ad account back? I got it. I have one for you right here. Go to support when you're in the ads manager and send them messages over and over again. I hate to say it, but it's bad. It's hard. If not, then start a new one and start it right. And so that'll be another big part of this course is sticking to the policies. If something feels like, I wonder if Facebook will allow this, don't do it. Because I'm telling you, there's so many clean niches where you can do this right and make so much money. Stop messing around with the spammy shit. You're not going to do multi-level marketing in here. You're not gonna do any kind of supplement pill. I won't let you because there's just too many other ways to get it. Be on Facebook's side. Do not be against them. This is not the course for that. Let's see. Okay, a couple questions here. We will have access to this course along with future updates. Yeah, you'll have access to this course, Herschel. Limited updates, like important ones about like platform changing, new strategies and stuff that'll probably be used for future courses realistically because there's a whole different song and dance that comes with that, right? Preston suggests you have build a binder and organize the digital into folders on their computers. That becomes the manual and the standard operating procedure. Oh, you're suggesting that? Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. Let's see here. Adam says something along the lines about an ad account. My ads account was shut down over a year ago due to working with a group that did black hat advertising. Yeah, I have access to my wife's FB account that I use, but would you suggest I use my own account? I'd suggest creating a new one as long as you can. And if not, I guess she's your wife, so you'll be together with her hopefully forever. And so you can do that. But I would say start fresh. Just start fresh with this, right? All you guys, start fresh. If you have questions, just start fresh. Could we get SEO clients with this? Yeah, of course, if you are good at getting SEO results, right? So this is the thing is like, I sell against SEO and all that stuff a lot. And usually it's because with SEO, your pitch sounds something like, we're going to do this and we're going to do these backlinks and we're going to blah, 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 blah. And in 3 months, you're going to start to see something. Versus I come in and I say, and with 3 hours, when we turn the campaign on, you're going to start to see something. It's a hard sell against me, which will be you because you're in the course. So I mean, again, I would stick to this. I would put 100% into this. Obviously, I'm biased. I can only speak to what it's done for us, our agency, our lives. But I mean, I put all your other shit to the side right now, unless it's, obviously bringing you a ton of money and it's automated. But I would give this 100% focus. Phil, are you going to recommend all the different fees to charge your clients, setup management, et cetera? Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you kind of exactly how I price our stuff. And even at a glance, again, our pricing models are dependent on how much value we can deliver. So again, we need to know how much money we're going to make someone before we can tell them how much we're going to charge them for it, because that's what we base our pricing around, and that's what's always going to allow you to sell higher tickets, right? And then setup fees and stuff. Yeah, we'll go over all that jazz. Is Facebook like Google in the way it changes things on a dime? Yeah, not as bad, because Google, you'll build up, you won't just crumble with Facebook typically. I mean, they did one thing one time where they took away video advertisements when we were running a lot of video ads. That was shitty. But again, once you kind of learn the skill set, you'll be able to adjust. So, I mean, yes, in a hypothetical world, if Facebook took away advertising, I mean, as a public company, you probably have better chances of going out and getting struck by lightning, all of us at the same time in different places. But once you learn the skill set, like, it doesn't matter if they take away video ads, then you do what I'm teaching you with images, and you just change it. So you adjust, right? So they've definitely done some irritating stuff, and they'll raise prices every now and then, but it's pretty annoying. Yeah,
a lot of changes.
A lot of changes. They're annoying, but everything is still the same basic principles. No matter what changes they're making at this point, you can apply what you're learning here. And again, anything that you guys get affected by, so do we. And I have to make things work, right? For my agency. So you're in good hands. Let's see here. I work in travel. Should I start with one sub niche, travel agencies, resorts, or just go for whoever in the industry? No, you should definitely start with one niche. I would say one location. Like you're Cami, the Hawaii girl. If you want to go to Hawaii, this is what you do. And then find people that are in groups or have an interest in Hawaii, which a lot of people do. There may be like a whole traveling pack of moms that go to Hawaii. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, 100%. Don't you dare try and go broad. You'll be no, don't do that. Perfect. I don't really want to meet them due to time constraints. What landing page program will we be using? I'll tell you that later, only because I don't want people to rush ahead, because two things. When we come in as a group with 82 people, we get a discount, and 3, my affiliate link, duh. So I'll wait on that. Bill Shore, will you come out with the schedule for the full course live session soon? I book myself in advance. Absolutely, Bill. So Sunday, there's a syllabus in there with everything. So the only thing that's subject to change is sometimes the live sessions will. And that's just the nature with Facebook making changes. Like if I get a call with a rep, or I discover something really cool within an agency, or we come to like the end and we're talking about partners, it may make sense too. So I will create a schedule. We already have a schedule created, but some things, the live sessions are tentative to change, but we will be on track time-wise with everything else. Will you please talk about how to hire good staff? Do I have a good staff? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can. And I'll tell you right now, for me personally, I choose based on culture and trust. So, and writing. So when I go through resumes, I'll skim through, and based off the way that someone writes, I can immediately tell how they're going to communicate with us, their style, their culture, and what they're about. So I choose people based on will they get along with our very outgoing, kind of wild, like outside of the box thinking, because what we do is so new. There's not a lot of people who are just experts out this. I can't just hire for someone who knows how to do this stuff. I understand that I'm going to be training someone, investing into them. So with that, I'd rather choose someone that I really like to spend time with, because we spend a lot of time together, and that I can trust. And that's going to be honest, because at the end of the day, I can't do everything. So I have to rely on people to call in and check with you guys and message you guys and to help me out and make sure everyone has a good experience, and still make sure our clients are also having a good experience. So do we need an agency website? My website's down for the last 3 weeks, being rebuilt for our TV show push. And so and I still get whatever. For the first, I don't know, like year, I didn't even have a website. So I'd say get one. You should have a website, yes. But if you don't, you'll be fine because you won't need it. Killer, got it. Yeah. Could you maybe drop the link to our member Facebook group page in here? Sure. Can I do that? Can you send that, Rena? Rena will do it right now. And then let's see. Do we need where's a good place I can take you and your team to celebrate in San Diego after I'm kicking ass with this? A lot of places. Waterfront. We like the waterfront. Let's see here. Ruth Chris Steakhouse? Yeah, expensive steakhouse. All right, let me see, because I'm seeing a lot of kind of the same questions here. You can just do a fan page. You don't need an agency website. Let's see, kind of request fast ROI for clients. That's what I'm after. Good. Alfred, yeah, I don't have a Facebook advertising account. Will you go this for newbies? Yeah, absolutely, man. We got you taken care of. Cool. Good. Okay, someone asked a pretty decent question that I'll quickly touch upon, but it's not a quick answer. 10 says, is there a quick way basically to find out if the niche that you're working in is good for Facebook? Low ticket is not good for Facebook. Low ticket's not good for Facebook, I'll tell you that. So if someone, is selling a product that cost $23, I mean, they'd have to have a cost per sell of probably $4 or $5 to make it, once you take into account shipping and all that, to make it profitable. So those things are possible, but they're just not worth it. You want to go with higher tickets, usually better. And if it's not higher ticket, you want to go something where you can create value around it to make it higher ticket. In other words, have upsells and things like that, which I'll go into way later. But I would say this, Tim, rule of thumb for now until we get into more stuff later. Focus on things with a high lifetime value of the customer. That'll just make your life easier. And again, right now, just remember, there's so much opportunity in the game. Like, don't get caught up on thinking you have to be stuck somewhere because you've already invested into it, right? Josh, Frankie V's down in La Jolla. Gotcha, man. If we paid a few extra bucks, can we stop by the office for a ramp-up training? For $20,000, yes, you can, Dave. I'm just kidding with you guys. Now, I'm actually thinking about we'll do some kind of live training with the group and have some kind of in-person crash course. I don't know the details on it yet, and schedule's kind of real busy right now, so I don't have an answer. But yeah, that's something I definitely want to do. Patrick Forbes wants to come over and give a bear hug. Give me a bear hug after we make you a bunch of money first. All right, appreciate it though. Do you suggest using my name for agency name or something else? Well, I mean, I'm biased. Billie Jean is marketing because I just wanted to build a brand before that and like eventually give talks and stuff. And that's something that, or continue doing talks, but on a bigger scale. But that's something I've always known I wanted to do. And so, honestly, why I chose our company name, Billie Jean is Marketing, and a lot of people like hate on it and wonder why, is because of a man who you guys I'm sure have all heard of by the name of Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry got big when he was a director. And do you know how he got big? Because in every single one of his movies, he said, Tyler Perry presents. And the guy was a household name. Just from putting his freaking name in front of it. Like, what? I'm like, I got to get into that. And so that's actually why I chose that. Did you put it in there? I don't see it. I can't put it in there. Oh, I can put it in there. The question, yeah, you can do. Let's see. Do you control the assets, FB page, landing page, autoresponders, etc.? If so, what if the client wants to leave? Yeah, we control the assets, and if they want to leave, like that's the downside. You should probably still work with us if you want all those things. That's part of your leverage to keep them coming, make them dependent on you. You want your customer to depend on you, but yet still be automated enough where they're not taking too much of your time. I've experience with bulk custom t-shirt signs. Is that something that would be a good niche? Josh, t-shirts and bulk, I would say if you specifically market to Greek life, meaning fraternities and sororities, you could be in a great niche. because you can offer them a first round of shirts for free for one of the events, and literally they will go back to you and they buy like 13 more shirts during the season. So I used to be social chair of my fraternity, so I know that niche really well, and I used to sell t-shirts. So both of those things. That's how I would do it though, in summary. And if you just take the steps you'll learn in this course, apply it to that niche, you'll make some money. BG, you're badass. Grateful for the opportunity to move the needle. No, thank you, David. I appreciate that, man. Downside using your name as a company is comes if you decide to sell the business down the line. You know, Bill, I've had that conversation many times, especially thinking about things like that. And I got to be, well, hold on. Let me, before I finish answering that question, I'm going to put the link to the Facebook group that I think you guys have. Typing in now. 1 second here. All right, sent. So you guys should all have that. Yeah, if I decide to sell my name, I mean, honestly, like I want the brand to live like that. I want the brand to stick around. I don't want someone to change it. That's important to me personally, and so I'd like to build that. And so, yeah, so let me just a quick little recap here. So guys, again, if you have questions, go to askbillygene@gmail. That's like if you have like private or like questions kind of in general. If you have questions kind of regarding course content, put it in the Facebook group, right? Especially if I'm busy or something, at least someone on my team can get a quick answer. And again, we track those. And if some questions are good, then we'll bring them up on the live scale here. Sunday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, you guys will get emails to log into the course. Pretty proud of it, excited for it. Want you guys all to go through it. Make sure you jam in that. You'll be hearing from my team. They'll probably call you guys and check up on you, especially in the first week here. And then Thursday, we'll do our next live call again like this. The teaching part will probably last about an hour, and then I'll do a half-hour Q&A. Yeah, so I'm excited as hell to have all you guys. One, thank you all for just the opportunity. There's a lot of things you can invest your money in, and you decided to invest it here, so I feel a duty, a passion, and obligation to make sure that you guys get out of this course 10 times more than what you spent. And I know if you just simply put in the work, make it a priority, that will happen. So thank you all. Again, recordings of everything will always be out here. And yeah, I'm just I'm excited. I'm excited just like you guys are. I love teaching, and I've never been able to teach this stuff. You know, like this is my whole life. So it'll be good. And you know, like I said, we got a good crew. A lot of you guys are real smart looking at your surveys and judging from Terrence and Justin, your guys' conversations. You know, it's exciting times, people. Rena, say bye. Bye. Later, guys. Thank you so much. Says, how do we apply phone up calls for our customers? Do they need to make calls, or we have some type of call center do it? Paul, that's like a week 2.5, week 3 thing. We'll go into that because it depends is the short answer of that. All right, peoples, be cool, but don't freeze. Get some sleep. Enjoy this last time off, because I'm gonna kick your ass for the next 6 weeks to make sure that you get what you want, that you're successful, all that good stuff. And yeah, I feel like I have rockets under my feet ready to launch. Good, Andy. That's how I want you to feel, man. And let's light those bad boys on fire. My name is Billy Gene. I'm out.